I visited Parliament Chamber, witness an orchestra, a band, band, band of only politicians. Well, rated their performance on style, talent and endurance. A band, band, band of parliamentarians. Politics that encourage hate, making good folks discriminate. Preachers replaced by gates. Nurturing racism, prejudice and tribalism, multiculturalism, amagism from the UNC and the PNM, COP and the political symphony. It's a symphony with the TOP, MSJ and JSC and the political symphony. It's a symphony. Stop taking it cool. Don't be played for fool. They're using race as a tool to divide, conquer, and rule. Justify their bull. The race can they always pull. Vocalists have sore throat, keyboard is playing wrong note in this band, band, band of serial politicians. Their lyrics not rhyming, some have no sense of timing in this band, band, band of parliamentarians. Save people for the babolists, promoting the cause of justice, our democracy at risk. When this section called 24, music run to the core, who arranged the score? So impure with the UNC and the PNM and the COP and the political symphony. It's a symphony with the TOP, MSJ and JSC and the political symphony. It's a symphony. Corruption rebuff, say enough is enough. The system will always fail. Once the big fish not making jail. No integrity, no morality. Blackmail, cabal and fight. Some playing wrong chord for spite in this band, band, band of notorious politicians. While Dr. Kublal singing is noise making and booing from this band, band, band of parliamentarians. Like a cult pushing one head, singing songs of heartless and dread, wishing for people to dead. With a big greater crowd audience, complimentary to cause disturbance and striking performance. Arrogance with the UNC and the PNM, COP and the political symphony. It's a symphony with the TOP, MSJ and JSC and the political symphony. It's a symphony. Check how the crime rate, the violence inflate, the bandits see us as bait, yet they telling us to hold faith. Every night is awake, how much more must we take? Up round, up round.
Say nothing because I could add nothing. Kurt Allen is a genius.
Song engineer stop kicking.
Listen.
See that the mix need fixing. In this band, band, band
of notorious parliamentarians.
Harmonizing, not chewing up and spitting. This band of parliamentarians. Friends and family with contract, billions did us extract, riding taxpayers back. PR and marketing plan, covering lies and deception, bamboozling the Dan, population. The UNC and the PNM and the COP in the political symphony. It's a symphony with the TOP, MSJ and JSC in the political symphony. It's a symphony. Time to clench your fists, stand up and insist. We can't continue like this. We'll end up in a crisis. Lord, the power of the world, let your voices be heard. Well, we have to repair the speaker. They functioning like a keeper. Terrible acoustics, causing feedback and static. They say every creed and race of the final winding space. Without shame, without disgrace, they're winding up in the people's face. Yes, they're winding up in the people's face.
The reason for this is the reason education sucks, and it's the same reason that it will never, ever, ever be fixed. It's never going to get any better. Don't look for it. Be happy with what you got. Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners now. The real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear. They got you by the balls. They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them. That's against their interest. That's right. They don't want people who are smart enough to sit around the kitchen table and figure out how badly they're getting fucked by a system that threw them overboard 30 fucking years ago. They don't want that. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient workers. People who are just smart enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly shittier jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime, and the vanishing pension that disappears the minute you go to collect it. And now they're coming for your Social Security money. They want your fucking retirement money. They want it back so they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street.
Now, you take George Carlin out of America, you put him in Trinidad, and you say he is talking about Trinidad and Tobago, and you just swap out the words that refer to America and the words that refer to Trinidad, and you're home. National Insurance Board right now is raping everybody who ever made a contribution to national insurance. Everybody using the money for disco financing in Siam and Apsara and Tamnaktai, and every citizen of this Republic of Trinidad and Tobago that go to disco in Siam and to eat in Tamnaktai and Apsara are criminal co-conspirators after the fact, because you are taking advantage of your fellow brothers and sister Trinidadians. Anyway, today is Tuesday, 20th of June 2017. I called tonight's video After the Storm. I wrote this today. I understand your Prime Minister had something to say about me writing this today. But Rowley, you and I will end up in a debate, you know. We will end up in a public debate. And Kamala, we see that you find the boots that you wear once. We see that you find the boots that you wear once on the day they were swearing you in, and they realized they were Martin Flood, and they see it was a perfect photo op, so they snatch you, throw you in a pair of boots and had you tore. But you never wear them boots since. And them same people in Barrackpore and Penal and Siparia that you're going to fool today, you turn your back on them for 5 years. So miss we with that bullshit, Kamala. Go and do your work as a member of parliament and don't try and fool anybody that you're some alternate PM. You're not. This is what I wrote today. This nation dodged a bullet last evening, not just because the storm veered away at the last minute, minimizing its effects and damage, but had it not done so, government's ridiculous abdication of responsibility may have resulted in needless lives being lost due to a lack of proper communication, absence of situational command, and no clear directions as to the population as to what was expected and what was required. And I say dodge the bullet because even though images show devastation caused by floods due to heavy rains in the southernmost sectors of the island, one can easily wonder what the amount of devastation would have been umpteen times worse had the entire nation taken a direct hit. But back on point. By late yesterday afternoon, the Trinidad and Tobago Met Office was churning out copy and paste updates that reminded the public that a storm was coming but not much else. And as the only agency of state in something like constant contact with the public, it told them in no uncertain terms they were on their own. With the National Operations Center missing in action, with the Organization for Disaster Preparedness and Management gagged and mute, and with no one from regional authority giving anything like guidelines, were it not for the United States National Hurricane Centers, AccuWeather, and the local members of REACT, the situation could have been many times worse. And if all that were not bad enough, the real crime committed yesterday was the absence of any communication or instruction from central government. Tropical Storm Brett had practically made landfall by the time the first government media release was put out. And by the time the media through Golderly Bruce on CNC3 had gotten on to the Prime Minister, it was clear that he was either drunk or having a stroke. And the fact that she did not ask if he was all right told me that even that was being staged, and that is beyond unacceptable. The question is being asked over and over under this administration. Who do you turn to when the government itself is the problem? The answer is no one. The only remedy is an election. And last night's failure to perform should be the last straw. There's no Department of State or lawful authority to call on to investigate the Prime Minister's conduct and mishandling of his constitutional role and function. This was contempt of office in the extreme, and in any nation that takes itself seriously would result in the public calling for his removal today. What took place was nothing short of gross dereliction of duty, abdication of lawful authority, and reckless indifference for human life. Had that storm not turned away, we could have been left with a much worse tragedy in its wake. Based on the realities in the last 24 hours, that may still be the case. This government has failed. The remedy is an election. As a people, we need to be having that conversation. You know what I'm telling you? That is the conversation we need to be having. It is time to fire Keith Rowley. All of those who are asking me who we will put, we have options. Vote for another option. You are not stuck with the PNM and UNC. Vote for somebody else. Stop the tribal racist nonsense. Tribalism and racism not helping the Indian people in Barrackpore up to their waist in water today because Kamala didn't fix it. So miss we with that. Don't bring your bullshit near me.
Your vote will decide what you want to be. Your vote can foretell our country's fate. But use it well before it's too late. If it is that who you're voting, fail beyond a doubt.
They fail beyond a doubt. Vote them out.
If it is they prove it to be only full amount.
I set them out. Rowley, Farris and Stewart, vote them out.
If it is the time is now that change should come about.
It's time for change.
Just as how you vote them in, vote them out. Register and vote them out. If they don't see, vote them out. Stain your finger and vote them out. Show them no mercy.
No mercy.
Vote them out with Total scorn.
Total scorn. Utter disdain.
Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power.
Terminate their reign.
Let's put our country together again.
The people of Trinidad and Tobago have to know they're in trouble. You're in trouble. Diego Martin couldn't take that water. I'm telling you, I was a first responder for the last 2 storms. If it wasn't for my brother-in-law last night, Diego Martin Highway get cut off. He get cut off 1 tree for long. My brother-in-law had to tell me, we called the Diego Martin Regional Corporation and wake up the man live on social media. On this video, the man slurring, sleep, dribble, yampiri, and he arguing. And the man tell me that they send the first responders home. I say, you're charged with the first response in a hurricane. How the hell you could send them home? They're supposed to be there. So then he realized that we wasn't on bullshit, and like he asked somebody who is Philip Alexander, because next thing I know, 5 minutes later, he passed by the tree. And he checked the tree and he called me back. He went live again 10 minutes after the first call to say he had spoken to the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service at 4 Roads. And 10 minutes after that, they were on scene, 22 of them cutting up the tree. And that is how government is supposed to work, but it shouldn't require me making noise for it to happen. So you know what it is? Keith Rowley, mystery with your bullshit, brother. Fire yourself. This country can't survive you. Can't survive you. Vote out Faris with the bullshit. All the talk. Faris had all the talk in the world. Now you're making AG. He's a poser boy. Watch him. A cocktail barman. Look at that jackass as your attorney general. Start from him and come down the line. And the 15 million man Ansel Roger telling the nation he going and do what? He following we, you know. Check all of them. As we do something, they're doing it too. So he going to do a rating on ministers. When you're doing it, Ansel, when grass grow on your head, miss we with that bullshit too. You went to pose for your members in Labor Day. But all you're taking this government serious. If half of what this government do, Kamala had do, you'd be crying blood. All on kicks. Waste of time, wasting people time. All of this have to done. We need a government in this country to clean house, clean it. All that have to done. Too much people suffering in this land. Crocodiles swimming in people's yard today.
If their policy is a policy, bureaucracy, a catastrophe. If they cannot cope, and you see it so, then your only hope is for them to go. If it is fabrication, these statements that they spout.
When you're voting, everybody share this video now. We're going to have a conversation tonight that's going to end up with an election. Share this 10 times now. Get the people out. Let us have a conversation. Most people tell me today, if it wasn't for us live last night for 4.5 hours, they would have been hopeless. We intervened in situations. I'm beating my chest. This is where government was supposed to come in. This is where government was supposed to function. And you cannot accept it. You cannot accept drunky monkey in Tobago slurring for Gold Lily, and Gold Lily asking Prime Minister, should we call an ambulance? Are you having a stroke? Are you choking? Why is your tongue sounding too big for your mouth? But she didn't, because you know why? Because I want to tell you, they faxed and they text, send the messages, send the questions, rehearse them questions, mystery with that bullshit. It is time to fire Keith Rowley and his entire clunker. We are beyond this now. Share this video, let us have this conversation. And I want people from South Trinidad to call me tonight live, 682-2110. Tell Trinidad and Tobago what you're going through. I was under a bridge in Rich Plain to pull a dead man out. I know what a flood does do. Call in here and tell people what you're going through. This is insane.
Citizens by right, none of your words, yellow, black or white, food, shelter and clothes, free movement and speech, a garden that grows, and one love for each. If it is that injustice is what they always show, when you're voting,
classless, tasteless, useless, waste of time. They have no race in this country happy with this government. Nobody. Syrian people, Chinese people, white people, black people, Indian people, everybody saying, oh God, deliver me from this. Deliver me from this. You think the whole country, if the whole country had get hit to that storm last, where we would be? These jackasses ain't start to respond yet.
Let's put our country together again. Put them out of power.
Terminate the reign. It is time the people of Trinidad and Tobago stood up against the abuse that has been happening in that parliament for 55 years and who vex laws. It is time to stand up. The country belongs to you. The Prime Minister works for you. His cabinet answers to you. It is time to end the nonsense of $50,000 phone bills. They have on a budget of $25,000 and you telling me tighten we belt? So it's 41 of you all spending $25,000. That's $1 million in phone bills alone. What the mother ass going on in this country? Satan take over? What is going on? Somebody said like a Kobo P on all the way. All the way. This cannot be right. This cannot be right. And God bless social media. Faris, kiss my ass with your cybercrime law. God bless social media, because it is that Faris want to shut down. They want to tell you what Gold Lily tell you last night. That is the truth. And Gold Lily tell you a lie. CNC3 give you a state-sponsored, brought and paid for lie. Because the Prime Minister was drunk. He didn't know what the ass was going on in this country last night. And that is the reality. That is our truth. That is the disgusting situation we find ourselves in today as a nation. But I tell Trinidad and Tobago, I tell Trinidad, a man right now tell me wrong. The Constitution recognizes God first. Brother, miss me with that. What the Constitution recognizes is the people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And all law and all systems are built on that. And we must stand on that document. To us with this, let me tell you something. You see the type of administration of justice we get in this country. This is why you cannot put God out your thoughts and let go the Privy Council. It's insanity. You can't trust this. You can't trust this. We can't know that the court will stand up for what is right. We don't know. We have no way of knowing. Look at what is going on at every level of this country. We have no way of knowing who to trust. The people on their own. The people on their own. Look at last night. People crying to me. Mr. Alexander, the people of Ramjohn Trace, opposite Clark Road. Where you was with your boots then, Kamala? All your fooling people. Glenn Ramadas saying I blow out your ass last night. I put him on blast. He copy and paste what I write and share it in his wall with a bunch of friggin' numbers. And he calling himself the chairman of the Superior Regional Corporation. You know what is the only telephone number Glenn Ramadas saying pose a boy and share? His own. The whole world have my number, but they can't reach Glenn. But you're the chairman, miss me with that bullshit. All you. Not one should escape. Red crapo, yellow crapo, same bottle of black disinfectant. It is time to get rid of all you. All. No joke. I want calls from Pinal, Debe, Siparia. I want calls from La Hoqueta. I want calls, call in, shame and embarrass this nasty waste of time government and the whole parliament of mocking pretenders. Embarrass them all. Where were all those MPs last night? Hug up tight in the rain. Fooling people. Fooling people. Taking poor people for a ride. Climbing up on the back and riding them. Darren Smith, you joker. You're going down on your constituency office to data pose. I watch your whole page. You have quarter the followers I have, but worse, you're a member of parliament and a government minister and you're posting things and you can't get 2 likes. You should fire yourself. You can't get 2 likes. Nobody will like you.
He promised to fire next time. He promised to fire next time. And who we there, the bad wounded, who in dead.
Shiguanas call me.
Who we there, the bad wounded, who in dead. Bad wounded, talk, you're mocking pretender. I'm checking lyrics when I'm competition. Far too long, you're fooling the children. Filling the head with brainwash education. Doomsday reach, wipe and the repeat, cause the children coming to take back the beat. Power the word in the conscious styling. Even for a brand new morning. Power the
I'm
word.
trying to get Shamala Maraj. She on the ground.
System talk it all. You talk it all.
And she on the ground in a wheelchair. So you know she have no interest in line. Time for it to done. Time for it to done. We need God to shine down on this country. We need a new data done. Time for all this to done.
Hi, Philip.
Shamala, how you going?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
Girl, I don't know what to tell you. If you didn't give us that information about the people in Ramjon Trace last night, we wouldn't even know about them. What's going on the ground? What's going on the ground in Barrackpore? East, west, north and south. What's going on down there? I hear people in a tizzy. They don't know who to turn to. What is going on the ground?
Well, and I could talk the eastern part of the upper Barrackpore.
Well, everybody knows that. Everybody knows you're confined to a wheelchair. So as much information as you have, we will accept that.
Okay. Well, in the upper part of Barrackpore, the flood subsided. A lot of houses, especially in the low-lying areas, they were flooded out. So they practically, doing their relief efforts like cleaning and stuff like that. What else? With respect to, we saw this afternoon there were police patrols during the day also. The current came back this morning around 8 a.m. And they're working together to help, the more vulnerable in the community who practically stranded and need help.
Shamala, you are a victim of cerebral palsy. If you were in trouble last night, if the flood waters had reached around your waist like it was in places like I saw in Chaguanas, do you have faith in any body of state representative from any side of the political divide would have been able to reach and rescue you?
Well, there's no information with respect to persons with disability that they could call or what they have to do, or only know the counselor's number. And but other than that, I don't think there are anything specifically in place for persons with disabilities. So no.
But
other than my family.
But
no.
I was told 5 years ago or more that they were compiling a database specifically for these purposes. Nobody contacted you?
Based on the database?
Nobody contacted you to find out if you were okay or in need of help?
Oh no, because they don't have a database as yet.
Shamla, what do the people in Barrackpore most need right now as an intervention if the rest of the people of Trinidad and Tobago would like to get involved and help our brothers and sisters in the Southland? What do they need most?
Well, one of them have this particular family in need of clothing, shelter. They're very poor families. So I know you said you were going to discuss a drive to collect items on your wall. You mentioned that, right?
Yeah, we're discussing that after this interview with you. That's why I'm asking you this question, because at some point, the chairman of the PP have to get in touch with you to help coordinate and direct us on the ground. You will tell us where it needs to go, and I'm going to put Felicia Holder, our chairman, in touch with you.
Right. So, there are groups in the community that working, getting in contact to help, like their neighbors who really need the help to get clothes. We're doing our own work to help each other. And we saw the counselor this morning. My brother mentioned that a while ago. He came and spoke with them, but other relief matters I'm not sure about that. But yeah, there are families who need help in Barco.
Shamla, will you be able to put us in touch with people who will help us get to the people most in need when we gather this stuff?
Well, yeah, I have some of them. I can ask around and definitely get in contact with them.
So if you could compile a list for us, please. So the chairman of the Progressive Empowerment Party, we are going to announce in a little while that we are doing a food and clothing drive nationally, and we need help on the ground to coordinate to get it to the people most in need. So Felicia Holder will be getting in touch with you, yes?
Sure, no problem. And I know someone who contacted me, who lives right in my area, so she wanted volunteers to help.
Thank you. Well then, so okay, if you could organize your little team down by you to help us just identify who we need to go to with the food and the clothes, that will be very helpful.
I definitely will. I definitely ask around because I know a few currently, and through networking, you will definitely find out and keep in contact to help these families.
Anything else you would like to add, ma'am?
The storm was scary last night.
Yeah, no.
You know?
I know.
Yeah.
South get hit hard. I know.
Yes, it did. You know, and it was last minute that I think the storm dipped, so we didn't feel, after 8 hours or anything like that. But the winds were very scary.
If we had gotten more than the 4 hours we got, Shamla, it would have destroyed this place.
Yeah.
Because look at where that water level reached.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so we really have to, take things into consideration.
Shamla, the people on my wall love hearing you every time you come on. I mean, you have a bigger following than me on my own wall. And they're looking forward to seeing you Wednesday the 28th at Joel's car park at 6 p.m. when we're having our next public meeting. So I hope you're finding the time. I'm not putting you on a spot, but I'm telling you, they want to see you, okay?
I'll definitely try my best with that one.
All right.
Definitely try my best. And thanks for doing what you do, especially with respect to, the voluntary work and helping people.
Just like you. Just like you. All right?
Thank you. We all have to do our part.
Absolutely. Yeah?
Yes.
Take care. Thanks a lot, Shamla.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Shamla Maraj. Soon to be Dr. Shamla Maraj, PhD. She is soon to be, if you put a Progressive Empowerment Party in the government, our food production minister. And she's working on a food production plan that will make Trinidad food self-sufficient in 5 years and a net food exporter in 10. Because that would be the goal, to drive the price of food down. So a breadfruit don't have to be Mr. Breadfruit. And a mango don't have to be Mr. and Mrs. Mango. We need to get back to there, but we'll have that conversation after. Okay. The entire team working right now, and they're working on creating all of the details and the information. We are reaching out to people in Central and South as places for you to drop off stuff. We just launched our Chaguanas West office, so we're going to be in touch with our interim chairman. All of this happened today, so the work is still ongoing, and I don't have the information by tomorrow. But what I want to ask all of Trinidad and Tobago to do, please gather, gently use clothes that you can give to somebody else and be proud to give it away. Make sure it is laundered, folded. If you're giving it to us, please, if you could help us, because Jericho Project does this all the time for the homeless. And I know the biggest hurdle is that when all the clothes come together and full up and mix up in a garbage bag, it's real work to sort it out. If you could give it to us separated in ladies, gents, boys, girls, toddlers, and babies, we would appreciate it greatly. If you could assist us in that regard, please, we would appreciate it greatly. Hello, good evening, you're live.
Yes, Philip, I'm calling from Toronto.
Boyer, how are you going?
Going good, man. Sorry to see what's going on back home.
But we rally
But what I want to say is that Dr. Eric could be doing whatever he wants. The PNM ministers could be doing what they want, and they don't really have to care for anyone. and they're not obligated to care for everyone, because come election time, they just have to shout race, and there they go, back in power.
I don't think this wrongs like that, boy. I don't think, let me tell you, I could be wrong, and I will go down in history as the biggest fool in Trinidad. I will write it first. I will say I'm the biggest fool because I am betting on Trinidad and Tobago to vote all of these mocking pretenders out, to reject this tribal bullshit. I am counting on that.
Well, I am counting on that too, but people must know. What I am saying is they must know there's cause and effect. The reason why these guys were hiding, they couldn't get a damn about the public, is because they know they're not accountable to the public. The public will vote them in again, even if they're in water neck high.
Well, we will put an end to that. We will bring an end to that now, boy. I want to ask you, as I have you on the phone, and Ali G, I think Ali's in New York, you are in Canada. I want us to get a response team. If you could help us quickly, stuff a couple barrels with food stuff, non-perishable food stuff, canned stuff. Ask around with everybody, all the other people who on the thread say they want to help in Canada, who want to help in America, New York, Miami. Help us coordinate. If you could be the go-to guy in Canada, it would be greatly appreciated, because if we could get a couple barrels, and they're asking that it not be meat-based products, so we don't have to go through the worry of if things halal or kosher or whatever it is. You have to know, no meat-based products, tuna, sardine, salmon, the rest is pasta, flour, peas, that kind of stuff. If you could help us in Canada, it would be greatly appreciated. And if you could write it on the thread now, please.
Okay, put my number on the thread.
You go ahead right now and write it, and keep following up and tell people, all the Canadian supporters, to get in touch with you. Yes?
Okay, yes.
We'll talk again, boy. We'll talk again. I will add you to a thread with Felicia and them, so you'll know the plans that going on. Cool? Take care.
Okay, so let me put my number on the thread, and we should be okay.
Thanks a lot, buddy. Take care.
Excellent.
Bye-bye. As Boya Kanek, he is a member of the Progressive Empowerment Party, and he is going to handle the overseas Canada. Now this is where it calls for a little bit of sacrifice. I want you to close your eyes for a minute and picture that you are a victim of yesterday's storm. That you woke up today and everything that you own is now waterlogged and for the most part destroyed. A lot of your clothes and food stuff are in garbage bags waiting for the truck to pass and pick them up. And your house is still waterlogged and stink, and you're looking at your family and you don't know where to turn to next for food, for clothes, for shelter, because they have thousands of people like you looking for the same thing. I want you to picture that for a minute, and the feeling that you feel. Go and pick up some canned foods and some packs of pasta and some dry peas and flour and raisins and prunes and things that could survive, and help your brothers and sisters. We are going to coordinate at least three, maybe 5 drop-off points. I am supposed to be talking to Ken Biscom in Tobago. Ken is Ken is the interim chair of the Progressive Empowerment Party in Tobago, and they're building out there, and they're putting their own team together to do collections and distributions in Tobago. So we here will focus on Trinidad, Tobago. Ken, if Ken is around, please, Ken, put up your number on the thread as well, so people know to contact you. Now in Trinidad, we have at least 3 spots. We're going to go in our office. We're going to go Chaguanas West, and we're going to go San Fernando. But if anybody else wants to help, especially in the East Trinity Arima, somewhere where people could come and drop off the stuff and that you could get it to us so that we could go down and link up with Shamala and the crew and distribute it to the people in need, we're aiming for Saturday. And I know today's Tuesday, so there's a lot of days for people to have to wait, but we want to gather as much as possible and go down there and see what we can do to help them. So if you could help us, this is what we're looking to do. If you could spread the word. Tomorrow the graphics, we will have the graphics, it will go up, so you spread the word more, and everything should be in place for people to go and drop off. But in the meantime, everyone tell somebody else. Please link up, brothers and sisters. We're trying to help the people in need. Clothes, gently used, laundered. Go through your clothes. Go through your clothes. Clothes that you don't use anymore, that your children don't use anymore, that your husband, your wife don't use anymore. Pack it up nice and neat, launder it, fold it, label it in bags. Gents, ladies, children, boys, girls, toddlers, babies, so that we could help those most in need right now. Yes? That is starting tomorrow. Vishal Raj Paul Singh asking where to drop off stuff. All the drop-off points will be made available tomorrow. I just see while I was talking to Shamla, somebody saying God bless Kamla. Where Kamla was for 4 years, asking all of that, because that flood is not PNM fault alone. And if you think it's PNM fault alone, you're on the wrong wall, you're on the wrong train. And when the video done, and I rewatched the video, I deleted that bullshit comment. Because the UNC did not fix Barakpur. The UNC did not fix Pinal. There are no storm drains. We have no dams. We have nothing in place to deal with these things. We have been saying for years we are not supposed to take our rainwater from the hills and dump it in the sea. We are not supposed to. We're supposed to gather and save it for drought times, for dry season. But we don't do that. Why? We have oil money so we can desal. Hello, remember Hafiz, Karamat, and Disalco? Miss me with bullshit. I'm not on that. But back on point. If you all want to call, I want calls. I want calls from the heart of the matter. I want calls from the people who are suffering right now in Chaguanas, Pinal, Debe, Rock Road. Call me now and embarrass the government. Tell them what you're going through. And I'll tell you why I say embarrass the government, because the government's job. I had to tell a jackass today. I say in the smallest words I know, because he tell me I blaming Keith Rowley for the storm. I said no, I am not blaming Keith Rowley for the storm. I'm blaming Keith Rowley for how they handle the storm from the start and how they handle it after the fact. And that if you don't understand that that is the reason why Keith Rowley has a job, I can't help you. I can't help you. Because if you feel the name of the game is pluck somebody and bless them. Because I think that's what all the elections is, you know. Like, I like he, I go pluck he and bless he. He black like me. Look at me, I shiny black, and he's shiny black too. I go bless he with some state money. Oh God, look how nice she looking, she's sorry. I go bless she, because all you seem to think blessing people with treasury money is the reason for hiring these mocking pretenders. That is not the job. The job is to serve you, like your yard boy, like your maid, like your delivery man, like your security guard. Their job is to take care of you and make your life better. And if they're not doing it, fire them. That's your role, not to come on my wall and tell me about I blaming PNN for the storm.
What is the matter? This is less chatter. Going right down to the heart of the matter. Everybody talking, nobody listening. Everybody talking, nobody listening. Nobody listening. Talk. Revelation vibes.
Talk to me. Tell me. Because I believe this country has a bright future. And it is my hope that we together get together and end the nonsense that has plagued this nation for 55 years. That is what we're aiming for. We want to hold hands, a rainbow nation, one people under one flag, black, white, brown, and we mean it. We're not saying it like the advertisers say it to sell your rum. We mean it. One people, Trini people, Trinbagonians.
So the bells are broke and they say that we set us jamming. So no foreign countries really start migrating. They do faith in the country, they say we gone down the drain. They say no more could we see happy times again. But the will to recover in my people like have confidence. Although many may seem to feel that I talk in nonsense, but the majority of we decide we're not going to run, because now is the time to show we patriotism. For we countrymen, it's that is power. So our people need us today more than recover. If ever you feel just a
Camera, currently burst his bank again. You had 5 years to fix that. How come it get fixed?
every try.
You found them boots to fool
Just a
people.
little harder. If we just get one more try, life would be much sweeter.
Somebody tell me the Prime Minister ain't show up because the place impossible. No, brother. It is because you do not know your job. You do not know how to do your job. You do not care about people. You don't care about people in this country. You care about yourself and your family. You and your wife must pull up in the mall and shut down the mall. Feel like royalty to jackass. Say it's time to fire you all. I remember A.N.R. Robinson had said after the election in 1995, he said he feel like he had political aids in this country. That is how we must treat all of you who come in here and take advantage of the people, who betray the people's trust, who come and use and abuse the system to fatten the nasty financier friends. We are going to expose all of you. I am telling you, the front 5 pews in the church going on empty. Watch and see. Watch and see. Them looking to digs out. If it only look like PEP going and make power, watch and see. Yachts and boats, watch them. Planes, get out, because they know. They know. They know. We will take it all back. But they have no way they can run and come in Panama too. We want the money back.
We could make it if we try.
I'm following you to Panama, promise you.
Just a little harder. If we just get one more try, life would be much sweeter.
People sending me all kind of message. Call and tell us what it is like in your community. Come call and embarrass them.
When the treasury was full and happy time, some was enjoying.
All of them like themselves and enjoy themselves.
Poor people was
Eh?
living. Now the treasury flat and the country come back to square one. Poor people remain on the same old ghetto injunction. But look at the way the economy returns today on some footing. If the same poor people get days and cola they're taking, and without social unrest, poor people paying the price. Because they know for the country nothing too much to sacrifice. And if the country facing is darkest hour.
Hello, good evening, you're live.
Hello, good night, Philip.
Hi.
Sononia, how are you?
Good, how you going?
All right, good. Going from Barapon here.
Barakpur, tell me what's going on.
Well, pressure down here, boy. Felt like wow. Some places the flood has subsided, and some places it right now it's raising. The level raising in some areas. But the main river in our area, they haven't properly fixed that in many years. So that alone, plus some of the waterways, I think that exist, they have never really done any work, remedial work to take care of it. And that creates a whole big flood as I'm watching here right now. I'm not affected like some of the other people in Barapur. I try to get out of my area here. I live in Barapur just before number 2 junction there. I try to take a drive up Rocher Douglas Road. Well, it's impossible. Over 1.5 miles, 2 miles, maybe more, covered in water. And the water was rising.
I want to ask you a question.
Repeat that?
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you mind linking up with our chairman, Felicia Holder, and also with Shamla Maraj, who's also on the ground, to help us and guide us when we collect the foodstuff and the clothing, to tell us who needs it the most so that we could get the best distribution of this stuff when we collect it?
Right, yes. Well, there's me and my friend Riaz Ali from GP Road Barapur there. Both of us could work to coordinate some stuff here down here.
You're gonna need to message both Shamla and Felicia so we could coordinate the distribution and delivery. We'll deliver with you, you know. You will coordinate and you will tell us where we're going, but we just want to make sure that we don't duplicate the effort.
Right, very good.
Yeah.
And that way it's much easier to be able to really reach the people that need reaching.
Thanks a lot for that. Let me take some more calls. Thanks a lot for that.
All right, you're welcome. Take care. Good night.
Hello, good evening. You're live. Where you calling from?
Hello, good evening.
Hi, where you calling from?
I am calling from New York. My name is Alvin.
Hi, Alvin.
How are you, sir? How are you tonight?
Tired. I ain't sleep yet.
Yeah, I know. I stayed up late last night watching you live last night, and I just wanted to say, the silence on the government was deafening yesterday. It was kind of deafening today, but what surprises me the most is that, the government of Trinidad and Tobago is always quick to respond to natural disasters in other areas of the Caribbean, but in our own house, Trinidadians, Tobagonians, Trinbagonians as a whole are third-rate citizens. It's very, very sad to see what it has happened between yesterday and today.
Abusers,
Very, very sad.
abusers don't respect victims of abuse. You're taking licks, take your licks.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't appreciate. They don't care about the people. The people of the country is nothing for them.
Alvin, I need to ask you, you could coordinate with the overseas people and help us get some stuff together so that we could, I don't know, we're trying to do our citizens intervention.
Okay, that's sure.
What
can I do?
Post your number on the thread, tell people where you're from and to link up with you, okay?
Okay, that sounds great. I'll post it. I'll go on Facebook right now and post it on the thread right now.
Thank you, my friend. Take care.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening. You're live. Where you're calling from?
Hi, good night, Philip. Calling from Shogunas. Just going to tell you, you're doing a good job, but also the job is not finished after the water has subsided. We have to definitely look at what the government is going to do now, you and your team, with compensation to people, some relief efforts. Exactly what? Because I'm not picking up for Kamala here, but I remember when she came into power, there had a lot of flood, and she was working, and her ministers working with boots in all their constituencies. I'm not seeing that coming from a holistic governmental point of view right now, and I think you and your team need to really, really keep abreast and keep on top of that to show the shortcomings of this administration.
Well, absolutely. Our first job now is to intervene and make sure that we can right size people so they can get food and clothes and the things that make up a life so they can start back their lives. But I promise you, my focus now is to build out for election. I do not accept this PNM government as my government. I do not accept them as my government. Yesterday when they were supposed to be present and serve, they were missing in action. I reject them as my government.
And Trinidad and Tobago need to follow suit. Definitely need to follow suit. And we need them to get out of power before a bigger hurricane comes, to have to show this population exactly what is not Philip saying this, Mother Nature come and showing them now, and I hope people recognize.
Thank you, my friend. Thanks for calling.
Take care.
Fire for them! Fire for them! Time for fire for them! Taking poor people for granted, using race as a tool, dividing and conquering and abusing. Time for fire! Burn them now! You hear what Black Stalin say? I want to be there. Give me a walk with Peter. I want to wait for Manning. I want to wait. You don't think Cyrus and Rowley at some point after God meets St. Peter too. All the talk they just talk. At some point, I tell Trinidadians, I sit down in Sadga funeral and I watch the richest man in the country, same box. It could have been a little more elaborate, but as the man say, when the game over, all the pieces go back in the box. It goes back in the box. All this self-glorification that these government ministers, these mocking pretenders, all this work to make yourself look better than you really are. What is it for when your legacy is so tainted, wasteful, disgusting, where the people of this country do not have one single prime minister that they look to with joy, that they look up to and say that was a leader? Not even Eric freaking Williams, who allowed his neo-colonists to rape with impunity for 30 years. This country needs a cleansing. A total cleansing.
Peter, these people had a day. Well, now it's time for Stalin to play. Peter, wait, I said Peter, wait. Peter, look, Ian Smith by the day. Peter, I don't want you to make fuss. Remember, I want Christopher Columbus. Peter, look, the Englishwoman who was South Africa refused to put sanctions. Peter, I just don't care what you do.
And I want to say, as I hear, Sherry Licks, TNTech worked very hard. TNTech, if anybody gets a gold star as a state organization for how they managed, TNTech gets a gold star. I do not know how the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service worked outside the rest of the districts. I did not get any reports. But Four Roads, again, Four Roads Fire Service, again, every time I have to talk about you, it is to give you praise. I do not know what goes on in Four Roads Fire Station. I pray to all the gods, the old and the new, put the 2 ambulances that they need there, so people in Diego Martin don't have to dead waiting for ambulance. The people in Four Roads Fire Station know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. When you call them, you're safe. You're safe. Hurricane, mess with that bullshit. They out there in the numbers, and in minutes clear away that tree. Every time you call them, they're there. The day I watched them out of fire that started in a house in Diego Martin, I was there on time to call them. Anyway, let me do the housekeeping. PEPTrinbago@gmail.com. They have things you need to know. This Saturday at noon, come out in your numbers. Those who want to join the party, those who want to join the executive, those who want to join the steering committee, those who want to be on interim constituency teams. This Saturday at noon, come and meet the chairman and the rest of the organizational team that you are going to be a part of, that you're going to work with to build this party. This Saturday at noon. Remember, PEPTrinbago@gmail.com. Send that information. Today we got a new volunteer to take over a lot of the online video management that I do myself, and she's starting tonight. Right now she's archiving all the videos into a proper YouTube channel, and she's working on that. So those who don't use Facebook will have access to it, and we're going to be able to do a simulcast, and that's coming. Excellent. So we're building out, and we're building out the team. The 28th of June is a Wednesday at 6 o'clock. I need you to come out in your tens of thousands. We need to send a message to all of these mocking pretenders that the days of self-glorification is up, and that we, the people, say you're fired. It is time for the change that rescues the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You will see the couple little intelligentsia, the talking heads, sprinkling bullshit in the conversation to set discord among the brethren, to distract you with nonsense, to ask you who we got put. We will put anybody but the PNM and the UNC. That is my answer. Because for 55 years, those two parties have gang raped this nation, masqueraded it as representation, and that must be brought to an end. If anything, I want to be the legacy of my life, it is that we finally turn a corner and vote them into oblivion. Go your way. Go your way. so that the police service and the fire service and the judiciary and all the institutions of state that we need could be properly redeveloped to functionality to serve the people. That's where we need to go. And we could man social interventions into Morpha, Beetham, Laventille and Sealots and all of the people and all of the places, the at-risk, depressed, hotspot, dispossessed communities, and rebuild them and give everybody hope and opportunity. When we could raise and elevate all of our people to the same standards, when all of our children could be going to prestige school regardless of where that school is, you will know we have arrived as a nation. Right now, we are not a real nation. We're barely playing one on TV. And it is up to us, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to flip that script and turn this nonsense around. I am here and we are going to do this. Let us join together. Saturday at noon, come out. No more excuses. Make yourself available. You do what you have to do to get what you have to have. Right now, we need a citizen intervention and a rescue for the redevelopment of Trinidad and Tobago. peptrinbago@gmail.com. You all know the drill. Send them your contact information, your constituency, your name, your telephone number, your email address, and how you would like to serve. Yes, Saturday at noon, spread the word. Wednesday, we in San Fernando. If you would like to host the Progressive Empowerment Party in your constituency, send me a message directly to me and I'll put you on to the right people. Yes? Thank all of you who was here tonight. Stay safe, Trinidad and Tobago.